All right, let's just jump right into this explainer and talk about a famously massive headache we all deal with on a daily basis. I'm talking about the ever-expanding node_modules folder, literally the only thing in the universe heavier than a black hole, and those painfully sluggish CI/CD pipelines that come right along with it. If you've ever just sat there watching a terminal blank while dependencies install, or realized your hard drive is choked with duplicate files, well, you are in exactly the right place today. Because we are going to put NPM, Yarn version 4, and pnpm head-to-head. We're definitively settling which package manager is the absolute best choice for 2026. Look, NPM might be the default that ships with Node, but let's be real, default definitely doesn't always mean best. We're unpacking some detailed, data-driven analysis from our sources today to show you exactly why pnpm takes the crown and why you really need to consider choosing it for your next project over Yarn, NPM, or anything else out there. So, here is the tale of the tape for our showdown. 1. Winning the space race. 2. The need for speed. 3. Defeating phantom dependencies. 4. Mastering the monorepo. And 5. The clear choice for 2026. Let's kick things off with round 1, winning the space race.
Now, this is absolutely crucial to understand. NPM basically copies identical packages into every single project's directory. It's wildly inefficient. But pnpm, it solves this by acting kind of like a giant public library. It stores one global copy in a content-addressable store and just hard links it into your projects. So instead of buying 100 copies of the same book for 100 different people, pnpm keeps one central copy that all your projects simply point to. And it gets even better. If you update a package that has 100 files and only one single file changed in the new version, pnpm literally only adds that one new file to the global store. It is incredibly efficient.
And the results of this architecture? They speak for themselves. In a 2026 benchmark running 10 projects with common dependencies, pnpm used an unbelievable 79% less disk space than npm. We're talking NPM ballooning up to 8.4 gigabytes, while pnpm stayed super lean at just 1.8 gigs. Think about that. If you work across multiple projects or run constrained CI/CD environments, this one architectural choice by pnpm is an absolute game changer.
Okay, moving right along to round 2, the need for speed. So traditionally, dependency installation happens in 3 distinct phases: resolving, fetching, and linking. NPM executes these completely sequentially. It's totally blocking. One phase has to finish completely before the next one can even think about starting. But pnpm, it runs these phases separately and independently for each dependency, completely in parallel. It just unblocks the whole process, which translates to massive performance gains.
Let's look at the hard numbers. In a benchmark on a project with over 1,000 dependencies, pnpm absolutely crushes cold clean installs. It clocked in at a lightning-fast 21.7 seconds. Compare that to npm's sluggish 38.2 seconds. pnpm is nearly twice as fast. When you start compounding those time savings over multiple builds, day after day, across an entire engineering team, it's not even a contest. pnpm is simply operating in a totally different league.
All right, round 3, defeating phantom dependencies.
So what exactly is a phantom dependency? Well, because of NPM's flat hoisting strategy, where it just throws everything into a flat top-level node_modules folder, your code can actually easily access undeclared packages. Sneaky little ghost dependencies that were quietly brought in by other libraries. It seems convenient, right? Until one of those libraries updates or drops the package, and boom, your build randomly breaks on a Friday afternoon, even though you didn't touch a single line of code. It's the worst. But pnpm structurally forbids these phantom dependencies from ever happening. It creates this strict, symlinked virtual store. Because of this, your code can only see exactly what you explicitly declared in your package.json, period. If you didn't declare it, you cannot import it. One dev team from our sources actually noted that the second they switched to pnpm, it instantly surfaced 3 hidden phantom dependencies that npm had been masking for years. It completely forces your dependency graph to be honest and correct by default.
Now, to be totally fair, Yarn's modern plug-and-play approach is also incredibly strict and successfully prevents these phantom dependencies too. But there is a catch. Yarn achieves this by fundamentally removing the node_modules folder entirely and reading from zip archives. It's really innovative for sure, but it can unfortunately break compatibility with standard developer tools and IDEs that just expect that folder to be there. pnpm, on the other hand, gives you the exact same strictness and safety as Yarn, but it maintains a standard, albeit symlinked, node_modules directory. You get the safety without sacrificing maximum tool compatibility.
Let's slide right into round 4, mastering the mono repo.
If you're building in a monorepo, pnpm is basically magic. Using the workspace protocol, it lets you internally link packages instantly. Say you have a shared UI components package and a web app in the exact same repo. Using the workspace star protocol guarantees your web app is always using the local version of those components. It instantly removes the nightmare of symlinking gymnastics or phantom version conflicts that historically made NPM workspaces such a pain to deal with. And when you combine that content addressable store with its parallel execution, pnpm becomes an absolute monorepo superpower. You get incredibly fast recursive task execution across all your packages simultaneously. It introduces awesome features like catalogs for centralized versioning. One developer in our source material actually documented that switching their monorepo from NPM workspaces to pnpm shrank their node modules footprint from a bloated 2 gigabytes down to just 600 megabytes. Oh, and it dropped their CI build times from 8 minutes down to under 2. That is just a massive operational victory.
Okay, bringing it all home with round 5, the clear choice for 2026. Let's step back and tally up the scorecard here, folks. The data across the board is undeniable. pnpm wins on disk space hands down thanks to its hard-linked global store. It dominates cold install speeds with that parallel execution. It fully matches Yarn's strictness to eliminate those nasty phantom dependencies, but crucially, without breaking your tools. And honestly, it offers world-class, natively built monorepo support.
Look, NPM is going to remain the convenient default simply because it ships with Node. And sure, Yarn v4 remains really powerful for those complex zero-install setups. But for most teams in 2026, pnpm is simply the best overall default choice. It offers the absolute best balance of speed, correctness, and developer experience today. According to the development teams in our sources, pnpm is structurally designed from the ground up to solve the exact bottlenecks you experience with traditional setups. It simply gives you a faster, lighter, and way more secure development environment.
So I'll leave you with this today. Take a hard look at your own stack right now and ask yourself, how many gigabytes of duplicated code are just sitting on your hard drive, bogging down your CI pipelines? Why let disk bloat and phantom dependencies dictate your deployments when a strictly better option exists? Switching is literally often as simple as running a single command, but those benefits are going to compound every single time you hit install. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer today. Now go check your disk space, take control of your dependency graph, and happy coding.